All right, with this shape, there's some things we know, and you're going to look for a second and say, we get this kind of weird shape here. All right, so we look at that. It's got 4 sides, so it makes it a quadrilateral. All right, so what do we know about quadrilaterals? So one thing we want to look at a quadrilateral is this. Matter of fact, keep in mind the idea of what we know. Like, let's say we have a square or rectangle. I know a square rectangle has 90 degrees. So if I have 90, 90, 90, 90, and add them all up, that's going to be 360 degrees. So I'm going to realize that all quadrilaterals are going to be equal to 360 degrees. And now, keep that in mind. If you look at that for a little bit, it'll help you with triangles too. Like, say you cut it in half, then the idea of 2 triangles would be 180 there. So it gives you an idea just to remember if you get stuck on the test. Start with a shape you already know. So we know the quadrilaterals are going to equal 360 degrees. So I want to know what, I'll make the shape a little bit smaller, so I have some space. All right, I want to know what A is, B is, C is, and D is. All right, so just some parts here for a little bit to kind of look at it. Like, I can start here and just say, hey, you know what? Forget the rest of this shape for a second. All right, if I just forget everything else for a minute and just look at this, that right there is 180 degrees. So I can take 180, subtract it from 85, and I'm going to get 95 degrees. So I know A is 95 because A plus 85 is equal to 180. So I got that part done. I could do the same thing with C over there and just say, hey, every now and then I gotta tell myself is forget the hard stuff, forget all the busy stuff, right? And this is where I like whiteboard markers, where you can do this and erase it. I know right here, again, those are going to be equal to 180. So I can sit there and take 180 minus 75, and I'm going to get 105. So I know that C is going to be 105 degrees because C plus 75 has to equal 180. Now, the next part is I'm going to forget that I'm not thinking well. I realize there's no D in this problem. So there's my mistake. So now all of a sudden I have this B over here. So I wonder what this B is. I know that A is 95 now. But I know all of a sudden that these 4 angles have to equal 360 because of this information down here. So I know they have to equal 360. So what I can do real quick is I can add up the other 3 angles for a minute. So if I add the other 3 angles up, if I take 75 plus 95 plus 55, that's going to equal 225 degrees. So these 3 things added up is going to be 225 degrees. I know all 4 have to be 360, so if I subtract that from 360, I'm going to get 135 degrees. So I now know that B is going to be 135 degrees because I know that 75 plus 95 plus 55 plus B has to equal 360 degrees. Or I can just say, hey, it's a quadrilateral. So keep in mind, now here, I give the answer for A, the answer for B, the answer for C, and for all 3 answers, I give a little tiny explanation or a little tiny reason why that's true. So that's what's going to happen. So that's going to help you with A, B, and C there. So quadrilaterals here are going to be 360 degrees, and I can use some of the other information I know already.